I was traveling to New York on business and started reading a magazine article about a 45-year-old executive that was in good health, life going great for him, everything, couldn't ask for a better life. And he went to have an executive physical done thinking everything would turn out great, and his life got turned upside down. They determined he had cancer, and it led to some life-changing events for him. I started thinking about my own situation and realized that maybe it was time I had something like that done. One of the procedures that set executive medicine apart, and one of the reasons I made the decision, is because every male is faced with the potential of colon cancer, and executive medicine offered what was called a virtual colonoscopy. I guess initially I thought it was a shortcut to a colonoscopy. Later I found out that really wasn't the case, but the most important factor was that the CT scan that's used in the virtual colonoscopy really looked at a much bigger section of my body than would a typical colonoscopy. They could see things outside of the colon. At the time, it didn't seem that critical. However, as I later found out, that was the test that identified that I did have a malignant bone cancer called a sacral chordoma that was growing inside my body. I don't think anything you experience in life or business can prepare you for the emotions that you go through when you hear those three words. And I sat in the doctor's office after going through a lot of testing, and he came back and told me, he said, I got good news and I got bad news. And he said, the bad news is you have malignant bone cancer. And you pretty much go into shock at that point. And he said, the good news is this is one of only 2 cases I've seen that caught it early enough that we can do something about it. I was diagnosed, the final diagnosis was in early September, just before my 45th birthday, and the process moved fairly quickly. We scheduled a surgery for October 9th, 2008. I went in that morning. The surgery lasted about 4 hours. They removed the tumor and all of the surrounding tissue. The particular cancer I had, which is a sacral chordoma, is a rare, very rare malignant bone cancer. So really the only process that will work is to cut it out. So they ended up cutting out about the size, it was the size of a grapefruit that they cut out of me. And that took 4 hours, and then I was in the hospital recovering for 8 days. And I was actually at my house hitting golf balls in the backyard 2 weeks later, and played in a golf tournament a month later. And 6 months later, I'm working out on a regular basis 3 times a week, and we did our first set of MRI tests, which were done in early 2009, and they showed me to be completely cancer-free. And so my life's pretty much back to where it was before all this took place, and the prognosis is excellent. The doctor doesn't believe I will ever see recurrence of this cancer, and my life should be normal, other than every 90 days having tests run to confirm that. I chose to come to Executive Medicine of Texas for a variety of reasons, one of which was the friendly staff. I mean, when I called to ask about their program, they were extremely friendly and helpful and wanted to work around my schedule, not for me to work around theirs. When I arrived for my physical, I was greeted with the utmost respect and courtesy and friendliness, and that carried all the way through the process. The doctor was extremely knowledgeable and went through everything, and for me, he was a guy's guy, a guy you could talk to about anything and feel comfortable, that you didn't feel like you were revealing your life's story and there was absolutely no understanding there. So from top to bottom, I was extremely pleased. I would absolutely recommend Executive Medicine of Texas, and in fact have. I've probably sent 15 or 20 people that are close to me, loved ones, friends, business associates here, because my story had a big impact on a lot of people. I've got a lot of friends, fortunately, and of family that we've got a lot of people in our family, and the bottom line is that I felt that at the end of the day, Executive Medicine of Texas really saved my life, and that means a lot to a lot of people and resulted in me being able to refer a lot of people, and I'll continue to refer them because I really feel that they did save my life. Do I think the cost of an executive physical or the time involved was worth it? I don't think you can put a price on life.